Hi, Tristan. I'm Lena. And my first question for you is if you could tell somebody who is new to the organization about Stone Soup, what would you say?
Um, I have just really enjoyed like each month I get this copy of a little magazine in the mail and I open it up and it has all these um works just from all of these kids who are like my age or younger, and sometimes they're written by me but mostly they're not, and they're all so amazing and inspiring, and they're all unique, and they all are really really good, and all these people are so talented, and it just always makes me happy to like know that there's people out there who are creating all this amazing stuff. um and I would also say, like, submit your stuff, like, even if you don't think it's good, and like just make it as best as you feel like you can, and then submit it. And even if it doesn't get anywhere, like, take it back and polish it, and or make another thing and do it again. Just like keep trying and keep going, because I know I got rejected so many times from Stone Suit before I actually got anything going. And that it always does turn out for the better. Like, you can't really lose anything from submitting, so go ahead and do that.
So, where do you get your inspiration? I know you recently, last year, your novella, The Other Realm, won first place in the Stone Soup Book Contest. So, where do you get your inspiration for novellas and novels such as that, and specifically for The Other Realm? Did your inspiration come from for that book?
Um, during when I was writing The Other Realm, we had just gone into the pandemic, and so I ended up sort of recycling things from older works that I had done, and I sort of always do that, but it was sort of more prominent in this piece. And then for characters, probably, uh, I think that I pull a lot of inspiration from other people's appearances that like people I know, but other than that, a lot of it is just taken from thin air, because they sometimes the characters, their personalities don't really come out to me when I'm first start writing, and they'll become much more vivid later, and then I can lean into that as I continue through the process.
So, what would you say the biggest challenge you faced when writing your novella, The Other Realm? What was that? So, kind of that moment where you felt the closest to giving up, or your biggest challenge, and how did you overcome that challenge?
Okay. I think that when I was sort of like muddling around in the middle of the novel, it was the worst for me, because I started it and I was really excited, and then like I did my outline and I finished a draft, and so I think just going through it again and again, and then sometimes I would read something that I had written or a note that I had made and think to myself, what even was this? Like what I don't know where I'm supposed to go from here. And so definitely I would get writer's block in the middle, and I'd just sit there and like stare at the computer screen without typing anything for like an hour. And then eventually sometimes like my mom would come in and be like, "What are you doing?" And I'd be like, I don't know." And so then she would tell me like, "You need to get on this, like start writing again." And so I'd do it. But definitely sort of like the muddy middle was difficult sometimes.
Yeah, I the revision process, I know you mentioned that it is very difficult. I would say that's
Mhm.
probably the hardest part for me of writing long form fiction. So, what would you say on a happier note? What would you say your favorite part about writing The Other Realm was? What was a particularly like happy moment in the writing process that you can remember?
I had this real like sort of spark of joy when the characters really started like appearing really vividly to me. Like, this is how they're going to react to a certain situation. And then once I started knowing that, it almost felt like the characters were going to write themselves, and I was just kind of along for the ride, and it got really fun.
Yeah, it's just a really cool feeling. I definitely agree to kind of get to know their personalities. You're honestly getting to know them as you write them. And so, say is the primary thing you want readers to take away from The Other Realm. So, kind of like that message, general theme of the book.
I would always say that like adventures are good. And so I think that like just trying new things and like taking that leap and going on the adventure across the desert in the car you don't know how to drive is always a good thing. Is a good thing.
Yeah, so kind of putting your best foot forward and taking those risks. And I think that's
Yeah.
something we can all really use in our lives. And it
Mm-hmm.
definitely does come through in the book. So that's all the questions I have for you tonight. So if anyone watching this, if you want to read Tristan's new novella, The Other Realm, and it placed first in the most recent Stone Soup book contest, and it will be available for purchase starting September 1st. It's available to pre-order through the Stone Soup online store, which I would recommend doing. It is very good.